I haven't always known that I had social anxiety. Well, I knew, but it wasn't until I was 18 and I got something called ataxia that I learned to just what extent my social anxiety affected me. When I was in high school, I used to think that, oh, well, I have social anxiety, but it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't really control me. After I graduated high school and I got ataxia, I thought my social anxiety was gone, but after I moved to Seattle and I started going to college, I realized that my social anxiety wasn't gone at all. I just wasn't interacting with people like I used to when I was in school, but really it was still there. Just wasn't noticeable unless there was some kind of social activity to make it present itself. Because of my ataxia disorder, I'm not able to balance as well or walk as well. So some things that will be pretty easy to do most of the time would be even more risky for me. So whenever I start to lose my balance and start falling, I have these little moments where I get really scared and I can see my life flash before my eyes. It only lasts for maybe half a second, but after having it repeated so often for several years, I started thinking, wait a minute, I know this feeling, I've had it before, and I realized that it was the exact same feeling as with social anxiety. I've always heard the feeling associated with anxiety to be like the fear of death, but I always thought that was just a metaphor and that I couldn't actually be afraid of death if that wasn't even possible. But with the ataxia, I knew that I was afraid of actual death because I had imagined my death in so many gruesome ways, countless amount of times. And somehow I realized that anxiety, being afraid of death, isn't just a metaphor. This was a huge game changer for me because I always thought that it should be so easy to overcome anxiety, and that me failing to do so just meant that I didn't really want to do it. And also, I realized just to what extent my anxiety was controlling my life. Before, I used to think that 99% of what I did was up to me and that my anxiety had no influence in the matter. But then I realized just how much influence my anxiety did have over me and how many other opportunities I passed up and contributed it to something else, where I finally found that it was really the social anxiety that kept me from doing that thing, and I just thought, I can't let that happen anymore. So that was when I decided to start taking my anxiety issues more seriously. But even then, that was several years ago. It took me a while to work up enough courage to even start working against it. So to all the people out there who are struggling with anxiety, it does take a really long time and it is really hard. But I found that over time, I've slowly been more and more able to fight against it.